Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to do a quick unboxing of the most recent addition to Kingdom Death Monster. Just received in the mail. I get this Gatherism box that we're going to go through. We also have the ANS box we're going to dig through. This is some of the newest stuff I'm excited for. This is the Red Witches and this is Pariah. So we're going to dig through all of this and see what we have in store for us. For those of you that don't know, I'm a huge Kingdom Death Monster fan. I have done an entire playthrough series on the channel. You can check it out. Also, at the time of this recording, Colin and I are still working through our Gambler's Chest live play. You can find that in the live tab of our channel. So if you're interested in seeing any of the Kingdom Death Monster content that Meet Me at the Table has done, please go check that out. All right, without further ado, let's dig into these boxes and see what we have in store for us. And if you're excited to do that, then I need you to meet me at the table. A couple things I do want to mention before we continue with this unboxing is one, everybody must know that if you haven't heard of anything about Kingdom Death, it is an M-rated game. There's scenes of violence and potentially sexual scenes and things of that nature, so I do want you to be aware of that as we go through this content. I do not know what is going to be shown and what's not because I have not seen these. Normally in a lot of the playthroughs, if they have that kind of depictions, I do try to scale it back or leave off that type of imagery. But I can't guarantee when I do an unboxing that may happen. Secondly, in case people are wondering what is coming and how this is coming, I was originally a Black Friday Gambler's Lantern pledge from December 2020, so I am still receiving the stuff from that pledge. I actually did pledge the original core game back in 2000, I want to say 15 or 14 maybe. I apologize, I can't exactly remember when I pledged that. So a lot of the core material that I already own. So this is all the new material that is coming out slowly. So we're going to dig into this. I decided to do the Red Witches first. We're going to see what is in here. First, we have the sprue of the Red Witches, which of course everybody knows Kingdom Death is massively ahead of the time when it comes to their miniatures for their games. One thing I do like how they're doing their new system is they're putting the what do you call these things? Sprues into the box, but are protecting everything underneath with this new little thing they have here. So we're able to protect all the books and all the cards and everything that goes along with it underneath this. Let's see if I can tip this out and let these things kind of come out a little bit. Hopefully this is not a bad idea. Here we go. It might have been a bad idea. It was not one of my better ideas, I'll tell you that. But we're still going to pull everything out. So it looks like we have the three different witches, I'm guessing is what these are. Now, of course, I will go into a little more depth on what all this is. I'm not just going to pour it on the table and call it a day. So we are going to dig through each little bit of this. There is a section in here for some of the cards that I'm going to go through a little bit. And we're also going to take a look at the book that goes along with this as well. This particular expansion is going to be a Node 2 expansion for Nemesis monsters. You're going to bring in a Nemesis Node 2 monster, and that's this particular expansion. This is Brawl over here. There are three different witches. We have Brawl and Nico, and there's also the Seer as well. And those are the three different sprues you're seeing here. These down here are going to be the minions that potentially could come out during the combat that you're fighting. This is also going to be some, I believe, gear for our survivors if we wish to upgrade and gain some of the gear from this particular Nemesis monster. That's what these sprues are. But the cool thing about this is I like how you actually fight them one at a time, kind of. As you're going to put the Nemesis monster into node number 9 or on the time track, and these are the little boxes that they have for each one of them. And this is Brawls, and we also have Nico's, and we also have the Seers. And I believe each of these are going to hold the cards that we're going to be using for maybe the battle or what's going on. Of course, we'll have to fight them to see exactly how this all works. But I think it's kind of neat how they have these little boxes for each one of these. And so if you are meeting them on node 9, or sorry, timeline 9, you're going to fight Brawl first. She's going to test your strength because, you know, Nemesis monsters are kind of a check to see how well your civilization has come so far. And of course, these are coming to test that out. Of course, they do come with their own cards that are going to have to go through real quick. quick, and they do have their own special rules and their own things that they're going to do. From what I understand, they're going to be, they can potentially teleport around the board. Some of the other things they can do is they can heal not only themselves as they fight, and you have to defeat them in certain orders. For example, if you actually have all three of them out here, you cannot defeat the leader, Seer, until the other two have been brought to zero. And as these are brought to zero, some of those minions will be coming out and taking their place. From what I understand, this expansion has to do a lot with blood, and so Brawl has some boiling blood that she's going to deal with. Some of the other things that are going to happen is like there's blood magic. Of course, they are going to have synchronic attacks that we've seen in the Gambler's Chest. And these witch, the witch expansion can be used in almost any campaign. They tell you how to put it in for the seers, for the dreamers, all the different the core, or all the different ways of playing based on the rules that they've set up for them. I'm going to put these boxes kind of aside, and we're going to dig into a few of the cards. First, each one of the cards we have here is for each one of the three different witches. Here's Brawl. I'm just going to show you the level 1 because that is the first time you would encounter him. It talks about his life total being 10. He has Discouraging Presence and Boiling Blood. Move of 7, 11 Toughness, and those are where the different types of cards he's going to get: 7 Basic, 3 Advanced, and 2 Legendary. The life total on here is different from the card numbers that you're seeing here because they do actually keep track of their life total off to the side with a die, which is different from most of the others you fight. They also have these cool cards that come with it, 1, 2, and 3 for Nico, Seer, and Brawl. They're the hit location cards for each of the different witches. We have Nico's, we have Brawl's, and we also have the Seer's hit location cards. They're all about the same in amount they are. I'm only going to show Brawl's, and I'm only going to show about one of them. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to just look real quick and see what we find. So here's one. This is a First Strike Meteoric Flexing Abdomen. Hyper Apnic Armor. Bale gains +4 toughness until the end of this attack. That's absolutely terrible. She flexes her muscles, raising bulging veins and throbbing blood in hypotonic. All non-blind survivors within 5 spaces of Brawl suffer bash and 3 brain damage if I fail to wound this location. Oh, that's terrible. And then we got Critical Wound. The monster doubles over, vomiting, scalding, bile. Brawl gains -1 toughness token. That's a little rough. Okay, I want to see one more because I'm kind of interested here. No, I'm not going to see more. We're going to put them away. I want to be surprised when I fight this guy. All right, or girl, sorry. So I've got Brawl's locations here and all the other ones. We also have the AI decks for the 3 different people as well. We have Brawl's, we have Nico's, and we have the Seers. And again, I only want to show a couple of these just because I don't want to spoil too much of the actual fight. So we will look at one of Brawl's. He's got Meteoric Throw, closest threat in range, closest threat, no target, Blood Drain. That must be his special power here. Blood Drain does state, Brawl crashes down, place her adjacent to the closest knockdown survivor. She plants her foot on the chest and they gain Blood Fountain. Survivor status card. If there are no knockdown survivors, Brawl clicks her tongue in dismay. Well, that's kind of cool. So there is that Blood Fountain card, which is a card that starts out there. When you gain this, you gain a bleeding token and are knocked down. You remain knocked down and are doomed as long as you have this card. That sounds absolutely terrible. When Brawl would draw an AI card, she drains your blood instead, gain a bleeding token. When you are no longer adjacent to Brawl, flip this card before combo crush. Wow, that's something. So anyway, we're going to Meteoric Throw. 4 speed, 4 accuracy, and 2 damage. After damage, look at this whole thing. Brawl seizes handfuls of flesh, painfully hoisting the target into the air and sending them hurling away. Place the target adjacent to another random survivor, each suffer collision and 3 damage to a number of hit locations equal to the level of the monster. If there is no survivors, Brawl slams the target into the ground. They suffer 3 damage into hit location and bash. Oh, that's bad news. This guy's rough. That's a basic one. Oofta. All right, well, that's just what I want to see. The other guys, it's going to be bad news. There are some other cards that do come in this. We do get some disorders that you would put into your campaign if you decided to use this expansion. You'd add those to it. We do have a fighting art that comes with this. We also have some secret fighting arts. Looks like about 3 of these. We have some strange resources and a hunt event. We have a special hunt event for this for some reason. Not sure what that would be. We have a bunch of strange resource cards. There are a couple innovations that you can learn from this particular expansion. There is a black and red armor that you can gain from this, eventually learning to make things with things, I guess. I don't know. Do not gain bleeding tokens from the red cloak. You gain the transport survival action. That sounds awesome. Oh, transpose is right here. It says here, when opportunity permits, spend 2 survival to swap places with a survivor wearing a red cloak. Limit once per round. So if I can get another person with red cloak, that would be awesome. I don't know how to do that, but you totally can. Now, of course, there are some, well, this is probably how you get it. There's a sanguinary extrusion. I'm sure that's going to be a settlement event that might be in the book because I don't have a card for it, that you can maybe build some of this gear out of. Oh, yeah, there's the red cloak. What do you know? Right there. Boom. Has some pretty neat blue and green affinities to the, what is it? Chest area. That's fantastic. After hunt phase setup, place red inclusion event on any hunt space. All right, so be it. So we have some gear here from that. We also probably have some, nope, those are just straight gear cards again. And then we have the rare gear as well for this that we probably are going to gain from some of the things that happen in this expansion. Now, some of the bigger cards we have is going to be the Cognitive Cognition, which is 19 that you need, and also the Knowledge card. Now, if you are Knowledge cards, if you are playing the Gambler's Chest, the Cognitive Cognition cards and all the things that go with it would be replacing Antness, according to if you're doing just that particular expansion. It does have 2 cards for sorting your cards, and that's about all that's in the, well, I should say that's all. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. This is just for a Node 2 Nemesis monster. You get all of that stuff. All right, let's check out the big guy, Pariah. Now, I believe Pariah works with the Red Witches in conjunction with them. I think this is kind of they kind of work together as a set of monsters. So we'll unbox this and see what we have found. First, of course, we have the sprue. I will be showing that off because I think they're pretty neat. They do a really good job with that. And we're going to remove that to look at the book and all the things that come with it. We have some tiles. We have another gear card, a Survivor gear card. That's interesting. We have a gear card for it. We have some, what is this? This is a settlement event. Looks like 2 of them. We get a couple settlement events. We get some items that we're going to look through a little bit here. And of course, we're going to get everything that has to do with Pariah. We'll look at some of these cards as well, but not too many. I don't want to spoil too much of the stuff. This particular expansion is a Node 1 Nemesis monster. So you're going to fight this monster at least 3 different times, almost right off the bat. You'll replace the Butcher in most of the campaigns that you play. This right here is the Upside Down Pariah. The first 2 times you fight this Nemesis monster, from what I understand, it's going to come to your settlement, but then after that you have to go to them and you have to take this monster on. And you're going to be doing it upside down. You're going to do it inverted, which means there's some whole bunch of rules about being inverted and hopefully having to hold on to the different things that you're going to have to do. There's these pitons, I think is what they call them, and that's these are going to be out on the board, and your characters have to move from one to another without falling. Falling, of course, would be super bad. That would mean dead survivors. Dead survivors are bad survivors. We don't like dead survivors. Now, like I said earlier, there are a couple settlement event cards that go along with this, but I think it is super cool that as you fight through this guy and learns a lot of the stories that go along with him, or this character, I should say, that character is going to replace the Butcher for the campaign. That's pretty awesome. Here are some of the settlement cards that this comes with. One is, of course, our Collective Cognition card and some Knowledge cards. There are some secret fighting arts, a couple innovations that you can learn, some disorders that you're going to add to it if you decide to use this in your campaign. You'll add those to your disorder deck. Fighting arts, and some patterns. And these patterns are going to be for some of the weapons, for example, the knife scab. You can maybe make a knife scab, and they do have the gear for those. Since we saw the knife scab, let me grab it real quick. Here it is. Here's the knife scab. It does have deadly bloodthirst. When you activate this gear, gain a bleeding token, 382, not too bad. We'll put those to the side. The cool thing about this guy that makes him super unique, this character, this enemy, is that there's the terrain card for pitons. I know I keep wanting to talk about him. is it's like fighting Tomac and Zaymot from the G.I. Joe thing, except you're the other one. You're the other twin. This character has what's called somatic empathy. If you damage him, he has a chance of doing damage back to you as you hit him. You're going to drop in cards that are potentially going to hurt you as well. His entire AI deck is huge, and it's built with some of those in it. So, for example, here's one of them. This is a fellow, that's a legendary one. We want to look at a legendary. Let's look at something more basic here. So maybe the basic ones are on the bottom here. That's an advanced one. I'm sorry. I should have maybe queued this up a little better. I don't know where the basic ones are. I like to show a basic one as opposed to some big advanced super attack. All right, here we go. Here's a basic one. Courteous Frenzy. I'm horrible with pronunciations. I apologize. But so say you attacked him, you would draw this and see what happens. Suffer 1 damage to the head location that ignores armor. Bad, super bad, right? Super bad. Otherwise, this is his AI card that's going to affect you. It's going to pick a target survivor with partner, or else closest survivor, or no target. It's going to do its now malice thingamajigger here. Malice tantrum. Wails and thrashes. It digs it, he heals into the ground. All survivors in 4 space of the monster suffer a bleeding token and place a token on the somatic static here. And of course, these are going to be tokens that you're going to gain. And the amount of them, I think you're going to remove one. After you reveal an AI card, you choose to remove a token from this to ignore that card's somatic. So you can save yourself from some of the damage. That's kind of cool. But move twice and attack target. Whoa, that's something. Move twice. So it's going to move twice. That's out of control. Then it's going to grab and 1 bleed and then place a token on the somatic thing. If this attack dealt no damage, perform Malice Tantrum. Interesting. So these are the AI cards. And like I said, I think it's kind of cool that this thing has, like, you gain the joyless impairments. You have to, it's going to be hard. Do I attack this guy because he might actually do something back? Now, of course, we do have the different hit locations. I am going to show only one of those. We have a Wicked Bony Shoulder, which is going to have a reflex to it. Oh, and there has stuff that's inverted. I bet if you're fighting him on the inverted side, you're going to use the other side. That's super cool. I didn't even know that was coming. Now I got to look at another one, just kind of see how that works. So if you flip it over, this is going to be when you're fighting him normally, and then this is going to be the inverted side. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. All right, now I'm super excited about this. I really, really want to fight this. This is going to be super cool. All right, I think that's about all I got for this expansion. I do have some settlement event cards that go along with this character, and of course the card divider. And it came with a survivor gear grid for some reason. I think maybe there must be something that allows you to bring another character with you maybe when you fight him. I don't know. We'll have to see how it all goes. But there you go. That is Pariah for this expansion. Let's dig into the other smaller things we have. The next box is a small box. This is our Wanderer. That was part of the package. The way Wanderers work, from how I understand it, is they're going to come to your settlement, but there's only ever going to be one that comes to the settlement, and it brings with it not only some gear and things like that, but also disorders, some fighting arts, things of that nature. Let's open up our Wanderer here and see what we have. Of course, we do have the miniature for it right here. And when this miniature does enter your settlement, or character I should say, you're going to create a character for them. You're going to write out all the stats for this character and everything, and of course that will all be found inside of this card here, or this box. So it even has the little thing for it right in here. That's pretty awesome. It actually has it all set to go. And it has ready for its cognitive cognitions, even though or the philosophies I should say, and knowledges, even has stuff for fighting arts, things of that nature. So it has everything you're going to need. There's quite a bit of these in here. That's pretty awesome. Special thanks. Thank you for inspiring us. May your lantern always shine bright. I apologize. I do not know the significance of that, but that's pretty awesome. This will, of course, tell you exactly how this character is going to enter your settlement, the things that go along. So it does have its own little stories and things that go along with this. And of course, it also has its own cards. Now, from what I understand, this particular Wanderer will join your settlement on Lantern Year 7. Here's the sprue that goes along with this particular character. And this person potentially has a hunger issue where they need to eat a lot. And that's kind of the basis of this Wanderer. And it comes with this special tile that talks about being hungry and content and giving you different bonuses for that. Now, when this person does enter your settlement, you're going to fill out the parts of it here. On top of that, you're going to read parts of the storybook that go along with that Wanderer in the book here. There are a lot of other things that go along with it. There are some secret fighting arts that you're going to be able to gain. There is a monster rare gear moon wolf charm that you could potentially get. That does come with some knowledge cards. The first one being Dubious Fair, which apparently talks about consuming monster resources. There is an innovation that comes with this particular character, and there's new Indomitable Resources, any new Indomitable Resource card that comes with this one, because as you defeat these characters and you gain Indomitable Resources, it actually comes with 3 new types of Indomitable Resources: the Gleaming Gizzard, the Prime Beef Steak, and the Cat Tongue, all from the 3 core monsters that you fight from the core game. And that's where you're going to add this character, could be into the core game. There is another fighting art where if you don't use Ark Survivors, you're going to use this instead. You're going to give it a fighting art. And I believe that's really all there is to this particular box. But this is, I mean, just for being a small box, this adds quite a bit of content to an already amazing game that you have. So we'll put this all back and we'll get to the final box that we have. That's called the Gathering. The final box we have is our Gatherisms box for the Philosophy of Death. In the core game, they do give you have a thing that has to do with gathering, and this I think is going to be for the Ark Survivors. I can already tell by this little booklet here, it has to do with Gatherism. It's going to be a philosophy that you can gain. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to go along with it, including a couple miniatures and even some new terrain tiles maybe that you can put out on that board. Let's take a look at all the things we got. Now this is an Ark Survivor only expansion, so it's only be used when you're using the philosophies, but here's the sprues for this particular, the 2 different characters in this. Here are the new terrain tiles that you're able to place down, and those are going to have to do with a lot of the knowledge that you get in the philosophies. Here's your philosophy card. This is a level 2 philosophy, which means you don't get it right away. You have to get collective cognition. I believe it's 13, which unlocks the new level 2 philosophies. But once you do, you're just going to add this to the deck and you have a chance at this for your characters. This also does come with a special hunt event that you can use called Vivid Grove that you're going to be able to use. There's a lot of new strange resources that I'm sure are going to have to do with gathering and herbs and things of that nature. The few other things we have left is there is a pattern card that goes with this, a new pattern gear card, the Dissecting Ciliurant. I'm sure this is going to help with gathering in some way. And you need a perfect bone, 2 perfect bone, 2 bone, organ, iron, and leather. So it's not too tough to make. It's just a perfect bone's a little tough, but you know, that's okay. You can get it. There's a strange gear, a rare gear card, which you could probably get. We looked at that already. The knowledge cards themselves, there are quite a bit of these knowledge cards in here. I think a good like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 of them. One of the first ones you're ever going to get when you get this is going to be Invasive, and that's where these new terrain tiles come in, because it says down here, during the showdown, setup of terrain and deployment section instructs you to set up a random terrain cards. Replace one of the Gatherisms terrain cards of your choice from the terrain deck. And we do have a whole stack of those too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And one of them is going to replace the giant stone face with the Bloody Beard plant, which is interesting. A lot of this, move on to the Bloody Beard plant. You're obscured by invigorating growth, gain 2 evasion while atop the Bloody Beard plant. Ranged weapons have +2 range, +2 accuracy. So it's almost a step up from the original giant stone face. But when you're atop the plant, move normally on it, ignore obstacles, and drawing line of sight. Monsters may always draw lines of sight. So it's very similar, but it seems to give you an extra 2 evasion, I think, is only difference from the actual one. So that's better. I mean, I like better. That's really all there is for this. I knew there wouldn't be much with the Gatherism one. It is a philosophy of death for the Ark Survivors, which is pretty cool. I like how they're just even expanding on just parts of those things. So we have all sorts of things here. We have 2 2 different new Node 1 and 2 Nemesis monsters, a new philosophy for our philosophy of death, and we even had a survivor coming in here as a wanderer. So those are the new things we got from Kingdom Death Monster. That's all I have. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. If you did, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when more content comes out for Kingdom Death Monster. Colin and I are planning to continue our live playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster. It's been an absolute blast so far. Like I said, if you're interested in seeing that, please check out the live tab of our channel and you can find it. And of course, I did a full core gameplay campaign earlier in the channel's lifetime, I guess you could say. So you could check that out as well. Please let me know what you think of the new things coming out for Kingdom Death Monster. I'm pretty pumped for these. I think the Red Witch and the Pariah are really cool because they kind of work together with each other, but still add a new flavor to it. I love every time I get a new expansion and kind of look through a little bit of it. They're all so unique and they add so much content to this game. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now, if you're interested in supporting the channel, please feel free to check out the link to the Patreon. It's in the description of the video. Those that join the Patreon are shown here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It means the world to me. On top of that, those that did join the Patreon get a couple perks. One is any playthroughs that Colin and I do. We usually are able to set them for the Patreons to see a day or two ahead of time without commercial interruptions. On top of that, when it comes to our campaign games or games that involve picking characters or deciding how they develop, we let our Patreon supporters give it a chance to do that by doing maybe polls or ask questions about these characters and what characters we should play with. So there you have it. That is the newest material from Kingdom Death Monster. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing, and thank you so much for watching. And if you're excited to see what Colin and I have coming up, then I need you to meet me at the table.